It's a really beautiful blue sky Sunday. It's mid-November, and this week we've got the first really serious frosts coming. We've got some -3s, -4s, so lots of things are going to get knocked back. And this border, my shady border here, lots of things are dying down now. Hostas, for example, they're looking really sad. They've all just gone sort of all gelatinous and floppy. The phlox have gone over. In fact, they're covered in mildew. So today I'm going to clear all this back, trim this back, get it nice and open. I'll leave some things like the ferns, for example, because they're really nice. Got some lovely evergreen ferns, and there's some other sort of evergreen bits and pieces which I'll leave because they'll be great for the sort of the insects and the sort of creatures over the winter time. But yeah, beautiful day to do it. So I'm going to crack on, get this cleared, get it tidied up, and I'll come back later and show you what it looks like. Well, like I said, I was going to have a big blitz. I was going to take out all the dead stuff, trim it down, tidy it up. Took me all day Sunday, but I've done it, as you can see, all nice and clear now. Some bits and pieces I've left in, got some nice evergreen ferns, got some epimediums, so they give a little bit of cover for some of those creatures that might be moving about during the winter months, and great for insects and things like that as well. But now I've cleared away all the stuff that's frost damage, disease, died down. It means I can get in between the plants. So my next stage is to get a big layer of compost put all over this area. This gets quite dry, this particular area, so that will really help keep the moisture in the soil during the summertime. Also, this soil drains really well, so all the nutrients tend to get washed out. So I'll put a nice thick layer of compost over there that will help, as I say, keep the moisture in. It'll add nutrients to the soil as well. And I'll probably put a feed on here, fish blood and bone, or bone meal or something like that. Let it all work its way down over the winter, and then it'll all be ready for this border to explode back into colour again next year. But yeah, it was quite a busy Sunday doing it all, but got it all done. It's all bagged up, ready to go to the tip, or I might compost some of it. But yeah, so getting ready for spring and summer 2025. So I've taken lots and lots out. I mean, basically all the perennials and annuals that have died down, but I've always made sure with my garden to have lots of interest during the winter time. And to that end, I've always planted lots of evergreen plants. For example, I've got a gorgeous white camellia at the back there, looking really glossy, smothered in dozens and dozens of buds. In another couple of months' time, that's going to be covered in really gorgeous double white flowers, a real stunning winter flowering shrub. I've got this Azara microphylla. It was only small when I got it, but it's gone absolutely mad. I mean, it's turned into a small tree now. But again, it's evergreen, so it looks fantastic in the winter. And then moving around into the corner of the garden, I've got bamboos, for example. I've got a Japanese umbrella pine. I've got a pittosporum, just to mention a few. But also, right down in the corner at the base of that pot with the rhododendron in, I've actually got a hedgehog nest. I've got a hedgehog hibernating under there. In fact, that's one of 2 hedgehog nests in the garden. So he's nice and snug under there, and I'll probably put a cover over the top of it just to keep the rain out. But just kind of moving along a bit further through the garden, the raised bed is still looking glorious, even though all the hostas have gone. I've trimmed up the ivy, but I've got these gorgeous phormiums. I think these might be sundowner, but I'm not completely sure. And then I've got different palms, for example. I've got some Trachycarpus. I've got Camarops, different ones in there. I've got a lovely Luma here as well, which is evergreen. Strangely, it decided to throw out a few extra flowers, even though it's mid-November. And it's actually got some really beautiful black berries, almost look like black currants, which is just from the flowers earlier on in the year. So even though, you know, we're kind of mid-November, getting towards late November, I've always made sure I kept lots of evergreen in the garden. These fabulous evergreen ferns as well, that look really good. And that miscanthus, not strictly an evergreen grass, but I'll probably leave that through the winter because that will give some really good structure. And I love seeing those seed heads on the top. And then, yeah, just coming down this side, more palms, a lovely fatsia at the base there. So interest all the way through the winter, even though I've already taken lots and lots out. So I'm not going to have a boring wait for 2025. I'll still have lots to get me through until the days get longer and warmer again.